Hello, my dear friends from Enlightened World Network. Here I am, Syl Ver, and tonight I am going to share with you some interesting and very inspiring stories about some people who were really helped by angels, and they managed to find their way in life and their inner truth, and even a lot of success. I'm talking tonight about, I say tonight because I am speaking from Rome. I am an angel interpreter from Rome, as you know. And unfortunately today, a very famous singer in Italy passed away and he left his body, and his name is Franco Battiato. And he was really a very interesting man. And he discovered his spirituality very, very early in his life. And he said that when he was 6 years of age, he had an out-of-body experience, and then he started meeting invisible helpers, including angels. And from that moment on, he tried always to live a very spiritual life. He was always very passionate about music. He was a great musician, and he said that music is the link to the divine. And he wrote very interesting songs together with philosophers and intellectuals, and he was also experimenting on many different kinds of music. And so his research brought him to use meditation, transcendental meditation, and to embrace spirituality at 360 degrees. He said he was not actually a religious man, but he instead was very spiritual. Very spiritual. He believed in invisible helpers, in the divine light, in the importance of being close to the divine source. And he expressed these feelings and these words in many of his songs. So I wanted to share this story with you because this is a story really of a man who found his way in life, his path very early on. And he managed through his music to inspire a lot of people. He was really considered a very good man. Today I was just listening to the radio, and I saw a video in which a man was telling about a concert in which he was playing, and a person in the audience didn't feel well, so he stopped everything until he was he made sure that the man was being taken care of very well, and then he started again. But he didn't go on playing. He just stopped everything until he was sure 100% that the man was being cared for. So this is a very interesting story, and I wanted to share it with you. And I have another story to share with you. One of my clients shared with me his story, which is really incredible. He is a businessman, and he's also a very good investor on the financial markets. He doesn't do actually trading online, but he is frequently investing on the stock exchanges and everything. So he had learned about a new kind of investment that, according to him, seemed to be very promising. And I have to tell you that my friend, so this client of mine who actually became one of my friends, was not really very spiritual or very religious, but he was I always had a certain affection for angels, and because probably he was taught when he was a child to pray to his guardian angel. And so once in a while, he was thinking about angels. And one day he asked me, but according to you, how many guardian angels do I have? And I actually sensed that he had many around him. But he didn't want to talk about it too much. But so he wanted to make this investment so badly. And he had to put the money from one of his bank accounts to the bank account of the trading platform. And he had to do this with a bank transfer. And in order to do this online, he needed to have the codes. And before, now we have the digital ones, but in the past, we used only to have like tokens, physical tokens that you needed to take to have the numbers in order to get the code. And he said to me, Syl Ver, I know, because these tokens were always in the same little drawer in my bedroom. And so I opened the little drawer, and the tokens were not there. So I started looking for the tokens like crazy, because I knew that I had to make the investment in a couple of hours. And so he said, I was frantically looking for these tokens. I was so angry. I got angry at my wife, saying that she had taken the tokens and everywhere, but they were nowhere to be found. And in the end, he couldn't make the investment. And he said the day after, there was a big scandal in the papers, because apparently this was a major scam. It was a kind of Ponzi scheme. And a lot of people lost so much money that it was amazing. And he wanted to invest, I don't say a very, very high amount of money, but I'm sure that he intended to invest quite a lot. And so he was saved. And he said that the day after, he had the feeling that as if a voice was just speaking to him, saying, you have to be careful with what you do. Next time, we will not be able perhaps to help you so much. And he was so impressed, so amazed at this incredible event, that he actually wanted to share it with me. And I really felt that on that occasion, the angels really helped me, because probably they had sent him messages, they had sent him warnings, and he didn't want to listen. So the only way was to take the tokens away, and he has never ever found them again. But then, this was overcome by the fact that now you have digital ones. But now he has been really very careful about online investments after this event. And the man who wanted to invest with him, who was not involved in the scam and who had lost a lot of money, he said, you are one of the few people who actually managed to stop at the last second. Because after 2 hours, so he was supposed, let's say, to make the investment at 8 p.m. At 10 p.m., the website had gone missing. So the people organizing these things had already gone. They had already prepared this for a long time. So when the people tried to log on to see their wallet, to see their investments, the website was no longer there. And so this happened just a couple of hours afterwards. And he felt so relieved and so lucky. So this is an example that really our angels can help us, even with tools. So by removing the tools that would have allowed him to make this investment, and he's sure that it was his angels, and I'm sure that too, because this is not the only story I heard about angels. I hear many incredible stories, sometimes some of them really funny sometimes, and many stories of objects found, for example, in places where maybe you have looked at repeatedly, and then you ask your angel, please, I just need this object. I need to find the keys because I have to go to work. This is creating a lot of stress to me. And then you find the keys in the very place you had looked for the keys before. So it's really, sometimes it's really mind-boggling. And sometimes I say, are you joking with me? Are you playing with me? I lose a lot of things, I have to say, because I'm always running, I'm very active. So I put things without even noticing, and I do not remember. And so whenever I'm, have to rush and I need something, sometimes I'm missing that thing, or sometimes I get frantic, but then I stop. I know I can call um, my angels, and I can ask them to help me find out. Samuel, for example, is a great help to find lost things, and whatever kind of lost things, uh, Archangel Samuel can help you. I can tell you another story. This happened to me, so it was pretty amazing. I was on vacation on a boat, and my husband had gone shopping to buy some groceries. And when he came back, we had to leave, and he was looking for his credit card, and the credit card was gone, nowhere to be found. So he went back to the village, and he inquired. We were not in Italy; we were in Croatia. We were far away. So he inquired, and then he came back and said, "No, I mean, the credit card is missing." He looked in the car, nothing. So he said, "Okay," and we leave, and I have some cash, so it's not a problem. I had the credit card, so I said, don't worry. But then I said, maybe it fell somewhere in the boat. It's always very difficult to find things when you have already put away all the stuff from the luggage. So I say, when we leave, I'll just look into the different places, and perhaps we can find it back. But during the trip, I was looking around. I said, let's see if it's here. Always asking, Samuel, can you please help me find the credit card? And I always say, it's really, for humans, it's very stressful to lose a credit card, because I'm sure that angels don't need credit cards. Probably they laugh at us and say, why are they using credit cards? This is just money. You can create money. You can download money. So why do you need a credit card? But actually we do. So I tell them, for us, it's really stressing to lose. So I make things quite funny, and in the end, nothing was coming, because I know that when a message comes, especially for lost objects, the message is so clear. I say the object is there, no way, and I know that I'm going to find the object. So I know the kind of message that was arriving, and no message was arriving whatsoever. So I said, okay, maybe it's really lost. I had already, settled my mind that we would not find the card. But when we were about to leave, so I started packing, and I went again into all the places in which I had already looked, with a flashlight, and with the light of the telephone, and blah blah blah. I was always looking around, nothing. And then I asked again, please, Samuel, can you please help me find the credit card? It's so stressful. And a message came so strong, your card is here. Boom. And I said, okay, it's here, fine, no problem, I'll find it. I was sure 100% that I would find it, and I found it. It was in a place in which I had looked at least 3 times, and it was there. I said, okay, you're like joking with me. Fine, okay, so it's okay, fine, thank you. And it's always like this. So it's always funny to be helped by these incredible creatures. They can help you in everything, provided you ask. And sometimes asking is very difficult. Sometimes I even forget to ask. If I lose something, sometimes the first instinct is to get out of my mind and start, where is the object? Where is it? And instead of stopping and say, can you please help me? The keys are so important to me. I have to go to work. The second one works so much better. The first one never works. The second one generally works. And so it's also amazing that, many people like me who believe in angels, who have had a long-standing relationship with angels or with invisible helpers, we completely forget to ask. It's really terrible. So I think asking is very difficult. And thanking is more, for me, is easier sometimes, because if I see something nice, I think of my angels and I say thank you, because this is beautiful and I think that this is part of your beauty. So this for me is easier, but sometimes I do not ask, and I don't know why. Sometimes I work so hard and I should probably stop and ask my angels, can you please help me work with grace, with no hurry, and with no stress, and probably this would work so much better. But I sometimes I don't. I just forget. I start, getting, completely uh, stressed up by events, and I do not stop, just for a second to breathe and to call my angels and ask them, please, can you really help me, um, you know, work in a smoother way, with grace. I always use the term grace because I think this is a real quality of angels. They bring a lot of grace into our life. And so please ask, because asking is difficult, but is very, very effective. And you will see that, um, if you get used to asking, then you will ask more and more. And you shouldn't be afraid of asking whatever really you like, because uh, anything is legitimate. If you really want something, you have to clarify yourself whether you really want that thing. But if you really want something, it doesn't matter whether it's material or spiritual, or I think that in the quantum field, everything is the same. It's just energy. So I think angels are very happy to make you happy. And that's why I always tell them, look, this thing can really make my life very miserable. I know for you, it's nothing, but for me, it's really important. And I think that this stresses the point, because I think that our invisible helpers, especially those who have never been incarnated, do not relate to our three-dimensional existence. They don't know how stressful it is, for example, not to find something, how stressful it is not to be able to download the energy, or always the abundance from the universe, and not to be able to travel quickly from one place to the other without, catching planes or, catching trains. And sometimes I love chatting with them, at this level. Another thing I do very much is to ask angels in my meetings. If I have a meeting and I know it's going to be a difficult meeting, what I do is I ask my angels to ask the angels of the other person to talk, so that, being an angelic discussion at a higher level, I'm sure that things that can be solved quickly, more quickly, and more effectively. And in fact, whenever I ask, I can tell you that the meetings are generally more productive, less stressful, with little fighting, and with more understanding. It is really amazing. It is really funny. And that really amazes me, because I really imagine that my angels go and talk to the angels of the other person, and they talk to another level. Of course, they do not talk at our level, even if we have been growing in a spiritual way, and we will never be able to be, so luminous with with the frequency so high as the one of angels. So whenever you need a conversation at a higher level, please ask your helpers, because they will be able to, to create a totally different outcome for you and for the person or the people you have to talk to. Sometimes maybe we should do that with our kids when they are adolescents. They also have angels. Probably should ask the angels, just please, can you help us communicate? Archangel Gabriel is a great communicator. I often call Archangel Gabriel when I needed to communicate with somebody, because he's a messenger. And so I sometimes ask him, can you please clarify my message? Can you please help me use the right words? Because even words have an energy. So if you use heavy words, sometimes, the discussion becomes heavy. If we use better words and more appropriate words, the conversation runs smoothly. So everything becomes easier if we ask. And there are so many angels, and we can actually call upon so many of them. I remember one day I was at a conference and there was a lady saying that she has been working with angels for years, and she said that there are, millions of unemployed angels, and so they love, being employed by whoever comes and whoever needs some help. So I like the idea. If there are so many unemployed angels, why not using them to help us? And so the idea of unemployed angels was really funny for me. And once in a while, I call them and say, I have some work for you. And there are so many things that we can do with them. For example, if you want to pray for peace in the world, for example, peace now in the Middle East, you can call upon your angels or unemployed angels to go there and to bring their light, their resonance, their radiance, their grace into the place, so that the fighting is going to stop. We can do that, and I think it's very effective. And so why not using these beautiful beings who have been sent by divine light to help us in our condition? Because they know that we are multidimensional beings, very luminous, very powerful, but we are living in a three-dimensional world, which creates some constraints. And so we have to live through these constraints. So the more grace we have, the better our life becomes. And so I think that we should always ask them, even in the morning, we can ask them to help us during the day. Every day I ask Archangel Michael, for example, to protect me, to create around me a sphere of blue flame angels, so that I feel protected for the whole day. And I frequently call upon Archangel Zachiel, who is the alchemist, divine alchemist, and who can transmute any kind of energy. And I ask him to transmute whatever energies I no longer need, I no longer want in my life, and to transform these energies into peace, abundance, grace, happiness. And recently, so I'm very also attached not only to angels, but also to elementals. Many years ago, I attended a course on our spiritual origin, where probably we are from. And I have to say that I 100% belong to the elementals, because I'm really a creature of nature. I have great relationship with animals, especially cats and horses. I really speak their language. Today, I was riding a beautiful horse, an Anglo-Arabian horse, considered to be extremely, extremely difficult by all the people in the riding school. And apparently he is like, a unicorn, very sensitive. And I know very well how to ride him. And with me, he's like an angel. It's just because I just speak to him, not with my voice, but with my feelings. There is a kind of love relationship between me and him, and he feels that. So he's completely relaxed. He trusts me, and he's very relaxed and no problem. And so today I was going around in the country with this beautiful, beautiful creature, and it was like being in paradise, like being in another world. And because horses have a huge energy, they have a huge aura. And so when you are on a horse, you absorb a lot of positive energy. This is the reason why hippotherapy works so well with autistic children. And it's proven now, it has been proven for years now, autistic children, but also other, um, you know, disabled children improve a lot when they ride a horse, because horses have, they are emotional creatures. They are creatures of the soul. And so it's beautiful. And same with cats. Cats are amazing. Whenever I meditate, my cat is coming because he loves feeling the energies of the angels and of invisible helpers around. So I always call upon also nature spirits, elementals, the spirits of the garden. I have a beautiful garden full of flowers, and the trees, the energies of nature. And because they are so beneficial, especially because they're carriers of beauty. And whenever there is beauty, there is divine light shining. And Archangel Ariel is the archangel of nature. And often I ask Archangel Ariel to clean up the places where I find that there is something dirty, or something is not right in that place. I ask Archangel Ariel to fix it. And it's nice to see that Archangel Ariel is very much present in nature. And so there are so many incredible beings that can help us. And I think we really should also connect with elementals, because they are also the spirits helping nature to survive. And we need, of course, our planet. We should actually thank our planet for sustaining us. And this is really amazing. And but there are so many. I have friends who channel celestial beings. I have, witnessed incredible channelings from incredible creatures I didn't know even existed. For example, recently I learned that there is a group of spirits called the Serendipities. I love them. The name, I had a horse called Serendipity, and it's the concept of serendipity that is very nice. And they actually work to create serendipities in your life. I didn't even know they existed. And now I call upon them. I want serendipities in my life. So please come in and help me live in the fifth dimension, where everything is synchronicity. And I want to be supported and surrounded by angels and serendipities also. And because they make things happen in an incredible way. So life becomes really magical. So these are the stories I wanted to share with you. And if you have stories you would like to share with me, please write to me on my Facebook page. Is Syl Ver. You also can find me on Angel Hound Radio, because I have a program there, and on Enlightened World Network. And please share your stories with me, because I think that sharing the stories is so important. Many people are afraid to speak out. And many people are afraid that they may sound very crazy if they share their stories. It happened to me when I was an adolescent, because I always felt the angels around, and but I never wanted to talk about it ever, because I was afraid that people may think I was really crazy. So I decided not to talk about it for a long, long time. But then I decided instead it's so nice to talk about it. And the more I talk about them, these experiences, the more people share their stories with me. And I can tell you that there are very, very interesting stories around, and which can really help other people, start this path of being helped by angels, archangels, and on the spiritual path, and they can make our life so much easier. So it's not something difficult, and you don't need any special gifts to do that, because anybody can do that. Because for angels, we are really important, and they want us to be happy, and they want us to be healthy. So I believe that they are always trying to push us in the right direction, but most of the time we do not listen. Unfortunately, it's the same with me. I'm very hard-headed, and sometimes my angels say, I knew, I told you. And I said, yeah, you're right, but I have to make an experience here, so maybe making mistakes. But the problem is that we repeat the mistakes many, many times, so we should listen more and more. Okay, thank you very much for listening to me, for being with me. And I want to tell you ciao from Rome. Bye-bye.